Hey, welcome back to the latest edition of Google Data Analytics Capstone projects on Caribou Data Science channel. I keep going round and round about how I actually want to do the data. The only thing I'm absolutely sure of is one, you can't import all the files. There's too much data, about 4 million rows. I think 4 million rows, 3 to 4 million rows of data, which is too many for any spreadsheet program I know. It's also too big for the free account on BigQuery. So we wind up having really, really, I'd say two good options how to combine the data. Okay. The first, as you'll see here, is by using R&R Studio. This also allows you to do a little bit of data wrangling while you're here. And you can see how much loading this data is actually even slowing my R down. But the mistake I made was I saved the image. Okay, let's see something. Let's see how much my image looks like here. R data. Well, yeah, it's 271 megabytes. So no wonder it's taking so long to install. Here we are. Okay. So if I actually write down the file, but briefly what you do is you import the 12 files. You then use rbind or rowbind to combine all these 12 files into a single data frame called, you combine all these 12 data frames into a single data frame called bike rides. Okay? Rbind simply appends the files onto the end of each other. Okay. One of your stipulation is you have all the files, all the data frames you're combining have to have the same number of columns, and not only the same number of columns, but the same column names. Okay, so that's what this does here. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to check for any empty rows or columns, and there isn't any. Then we're going to create a couple of date fields. We're going to create a year, month, date field using the start date. Then we're going to create a start of that and an end of that. Then we're going to convert them to the hours, minutes, seconds format. Then we use Lubridate to pull out the number, the start hour and the end hour. Okay. So like I said, I've already done this. Okay. Already done this, and I created a file called rides, bike rides CSV. I moved it to data sources, and there it is. I can't open it up because it's too big. You see, it's like I said, it's 3 to 4 million rows a day for all 12 months. But the problem is some of the station names are missing. The start date. I also mentioned I'm only going to be using the start data. I'm going to use the start stations. I'm going to use the start and end dates to uh, calculate trip duration. We're also going to be doing a few very quick analysis just to sort of give us the big picture. So what we're going to do is, if I ever get this thing open up here, see it's too big. All right, but you can still see what it looks like. Okay, here's the start hour, here's the end hour. Okay, so this one here means it should be less than an hour. Okay, if it's 17 and 17, well, that means it's going to be 0 hours, maybe some minutes. Here's the date. This is the start. This is actually the start date. Okay, so now we got that. Let's come back over to Tabula. Let's import this data. Let's turn on cleaning. This is sort of a data cleaning function. It's built in, it's built into Tabula. As most things in Tabula, if you go sit there and you go try to do it, but you know, 1,000,000 or 500,000 records, well, you know, it's going to take some time. Okay, and you can see the problem already. This may take some time. Well, time we don't have. Okay, let's update now. Start. So what we can do, a couple things. We're going to look at the the ride the ride able type, the ride type. We'll cover back to ride. We're going to be concerned with the start station, start and end dates. And again, I'm running a decent system here. Okay, it's an i5 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you can see it's taken a while to do this over here. Maybe it's taking the time to do this over here to update the data. Let's see if we can close this and start over again. Okay, let's see what this does for us here now. So this is the trouble. We have to be able to load data before we can work with it. So that worked okay. Let's take you got different bike types. Docked bike, classic bike, and I think electric bike. This is start date and time of the ride, end date and time of the ride. This is the station name, end station name, start latitude, end latitude. Let's see something here. This is member or casual. It's unfortunate it's not a little more detailed, but it's not. Year, month, date, start hour, end hour. So there's several things we can do here. We can do a count and a plot of these numbers by bike type. We can do a count and a plot by station name, number of trips per day. Okay, we can do a total here, and maybe do a pie plot. Again, start, end, longitude, end date, and that's here. And we can also do well, we can do a count by day. All right, count by day. And we can do a count by hour. So the one thing they ask for is trip duration. And trip duration is simply start time, start date and time, no, end date and time, all divided. You'll see in a second. I can't think. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to say into that minus started at, apply. Okay, we need to rename this trip duration. So where do we want to start? Let's start at the top. Let's start by, what as we do, columns, date, and station name. So you see that's not right. So what else we have? We also want to do a count by station name. So we got that. And what else? We got writable type. Let's count. Okay. And okay. Okay. So what can we do here? Let's start back up here again. Where do you want to start? Let's start. Let's do this. Columns. Okay. Date. Then let's do a count. The first one is member type. So let's do it. Let's try this. Okay, good. Now, but this only tells us Okay, here we go. Now we got a count of by member type. So we're going to use, oh, hopefully I spelled classification right. So now let's do this. Now let's put your month-day in columns. Okay. Then let's put member count here. Okay, but let's put member type. Okay, so now you can see count of rides by member type. Okay. Okay, so that's one plot. What are we going to do next? Now we can do a ride by ride type. Now, let's do another one. Let's check our time here. About 20 minutes. So let's just take a look at our initial thing. So we got a count by member type, a count by ride type, you know what? Let's put a filter up here. What time? 3:15. Okay, let's put a filter up here also. And that's show filter. Okay. Okay. What's interesting is, okay, so tell two plots. Could we do something like trip duration I don't know, by hour? These are, I should point out that these are a count of rides, not minutes. In all probability, we should probably do some type of a moving average or something like that there. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure how to do that. Annotate, trend lines, forecast. Okay, so is there anything else? Well, you know what? I think I'm going to end part one here. Okay, don't want to spend too much time uh, doing some process. So this is the end of part one. We prepared the data using R. You can also use a database like SQLite. We created also inside of R. We created an hourly a date field, month, day, year. We created a hour field, and we created a probably something else. And I just skipped my mind all of a sudden. Uh, we created a date field, a hour field, and a hour, minutes, second type of field. Okay, and then we imported the data over here. Okay, we imported the data over here, and so that's where we are right now. I'll continue this work tomorrow. Our ultimate goal is to not simply create a dashboard, but maybe even create a storybook or a story, which is basically a slideshow. Okay, which is this right here, story, new story. Okay, so this is sheet, this is dashboard, and this is slideshow. So this does conclude part one of the Google Data Analytics Capstone project on Caribou Data Science channel. We'll catch you tomorrow with an updated report.